Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another Historic Brawl gameplay video. And so 2 weeks ago we played Nicol Bolas in honour of the upcoming Tarkir Dragonstorm. In the story of Tarkir Dragonstorm, Nicol Bolas does come back. There's no card for him in the set, which I find odd, but he's been locked away by Ugin for ever since War of the Spark, almost a decade ago, I think, in real Magic, in real life terms. And he's just got his memory back in one of the stories. Then last week we played Miriam Sentinel Worm, a dragon themed commander, but that was about dragons because of Tarkir Dragonstorm. And today we are playing a Storm deck, kind of. So we are playing Indris the Hydrostatic Surge. It is an auto incarnation and he is from Alchemy Bloomburrow. He's a 6 mana 5/5 and it says when Indris enters we conjure a card named Lightning Bolt into our library. It perpetually gains Storm, then we shuffle. Then whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. So obviously Lightning Bolt, very powerful, 1 mana, deals 3, one of the oldest cards in Magic from Alpha. Putting Storm on it is bonkers. And for those who don't know what Storm is, as you can see from the reminder text, when you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn, then we may choose new targets for the copies. So there's any spell cast, not non-creature spell, not instant or sorcery, any spell, and it's not just us. If our opponent casts a spell and then we cast that Lightning Bolt, it will count their spell as part of a Storm. Now, Storm is an absolutely busted mechanic. For those who don't know, Mark Rosewater, aka Morrow, who is, I think he's a lead designer for Magic and has been forever. Quite a while ago, he put together something he calls the Storm Scale from 1 to 10, and basically it lists each keyword in Magic based on the likelihood of returning, from 1 being it's in every set, like flying and trample and all that, and 10 being it is highly unlikely to ever return. And I think Storm is a 10 because they recognise Storm is an absolute busted mechanic, and it does occasionally show up, but very, very rarely, and very rarely in a standard legal set. Said Indris is from an Alchemy set. There is another Storm in a card in the deck. Where is it? I've lost it now. It's definitely here somewhere. Or maybe not. Maybe I've just gone insane. Amphibian Downpour, there we go. But that was from Modern Horizons 3, which is Flash and Storm. And Enchant Creature, whenever Enchanted Creature loses all abilities and is a blue frog creature with base power, toughness 1/1. And, so we occasionally see it in other sets. But there is a Storm card in the upcoming Dragonstorm, and that's why we are playing the Hydrostatic Surge. So the aim of this deck is to get down Indris, draw as many cards as possible, or find the Lightning Bolt, have interactions with playing instant and sorceries, and just go off. It is a bit of a combo deck. So the first pile, I'm not going to go for every card, is basically cards that give us not necessarily card advantage, but a lot of them are value. So Seek New Knowledge just seeks two non-land cards, so we get more cards in our hand. Dual Strike, we can pay 2 or foretell it for 2 and then pay 1 later on. We basically copy the next instant or sorcery mana of a 4 or less. Expensive Iteration, look at the top 3. 1 in hand, 1 in exile, 1 in library. Galvanic Iteration copies the next spell and we can flash it back as well. Slick Sequence, deal 2, draw a card. If we played another spell this turn, flick a coin, 3 for 1 damage, which is crap, but we do draw a card and create a treasure token. Then we've got the full, basically 3 or 4 mana cards which discard, draw 2, create a treasure. So Caesar Spoils, Big Score, Pirate's Pillage, and Unexpected Windfall. These all create 2 treasures, whereas Caesar Spoil is 1 mana less and creates 1 treasure. Pirate's Prize also, draw 2, create a treasure. Prismari Command, Whole Host, one of them is create a treasure. Spell Swindle, counter spell, create X treasures, where that spell's mana value. And Goldspan Dragon, when it attacks or becomes target of a spell, we create a treasure, and we can sacrifice a treasure to add 2 mana instead of 1. And the goal about creating treasures is it lets us carry on casting. Mana is a finite thing, but if we, flick a coin, yeah, it's not very cheap. It's 3, but we have plenty of ramp and plenty of ways to reduce the cost. But we draw a card, create a treasure, draw into something else, maybe one of our many cheap spells, and carry on going. And then if we have the Lightning Bolt or can get the Lightning Bolt, we have a Storm count of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So next up we do have some ramp and mana reduction. Chrome Mox, because we always play Chrome Mox now. Realm, Monsoon Mage. reduces the cost of our instants and sorcery spells by 1. I think it's bugged at the moment as well. So it has text. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell during our turn, flip a coin. If we lose the flip, Rao deals 1 damage to you. If we win the flip, we may exile Rao and transform it into Rao Leyline Prodigy, and it enters with additional loyalty based on the number of instant and sorcery spells that we cast this turn. It's bugged because visually it flips 2 coins, not 1, but I've never transformed it in playing these games. I have before, and it got a bit ridiculous, so who knows. Goblin Electromancer reduces instant sorcery spells by 1. Stormcast Mage, the same thing, but also has haste and prowess. Arcane Scenic, Cost of Heart. Sapphire Collectors, one of the collector. I do like playing these in Brawl decks. 3 mana, 3/3 with prowess, and when we cast our second non-creature spell in a turn, we conjure a card named Mock Sapphire into our hand, but it triggers only once, and then we can pay 3 to give an instant sorcery spell in our graveyard. Flashback to the end of turn. Relic of Legends, Tempest Trappers, a new alchemy card, also from Bloomburrow. So 4 mana, 2/5, so a pretty beefy body. We can tap 2, add 2 mana in any combination of colours. We can only spend mana. We can only use that mana to cast instant sorcery spells, so that's not a problem. And when we cast our third spell each turn, we exile a random card from a library. Till the end of turn, we may play that card without paying its mana cost. So a bit of card value, but it can hit anything. So it might hit something we don't want to play. Charge Conjuration. It is a storm card. I think it is from Bloomburrow as well. 4 mana enchantment, a beginning of upkeep, instant and sorcery cards in our hand perpetually gain. This spell costs 1 less to cast. Then we can sack it and we can basically choose a card from its spell book and put it into our hand, do it only as sorcery, and they're 3 storm cards. Empty the Warrens. Let me see if I can do this. Galvanic Relay and Grape Shot. So into the Warrens, 4 to create 2 red 2/1/1 goblins with storm. 3 Galvanic Relay to exile top card of a library during your next turn. We may play it. So it's during our next turn, not up to our next turn, and it has Storm. And then Grape Shot. 2 to deal 1, but it has Storm as well. And then Key to the Archive is just a great card. 4, endless tapped. We can tap to add 2 mana of any combination of colours, and then we can draft a card from its spellbook, and then we have to discard a card. So there's loads of spells in here. Not going to go through them all, but some really, really, really powerful ones. Next up, we have a few counter spells. We don't have many. Pact of Negation, Wash Away, and Mana Drain. And obviously, Spell Swindle, as I said before. And then some interaction. Lightning Bolt, Cyclonic Rift, Electrostatic Blast, Molten Impact, Amphibian Downfall, as I spoke about earlier. Sink in the Stupor can act as a pseudo counter spell as well. And Shatter Skull Smashing. And then basically everything else. A lot of cheap cards that cause us to draw. And obviously, when we cast them, we will draw with Indris. And obviously, these will get our storm count up quite high. We do have Essence Flux and Splash Portal, which lets us exile Indris and bring it back to the battlefield. Splash Portal is a sorcery, and Essence Flux is an instant, so we can use Essence Flux to blank removal. But obviously, if we flicker Indris, we get that another Lightning Bolt as well. We do have Strict Serenade and Swan Song, so a couple more counter spells as well that should be in the other pile. Ragavan, because it's a red deck. Spiteful Hazard, Strangle, Strike It Rich is another card that creates a treasure token. We can flash it back as well. Ominous Seas, whenever we draw a card, we can put a counter on it. We can move 8 counters to create a Kraken, and we have a lot of draws. Solve the equation, finds any instant sorcery spell we want, so we'll often be finding our Prowess, Lightning Bolt, Electrolyze, small removal and draw a card. Flame Avarnor has a lot of modes, but including damage and draw. Polar Multiverse, draw. Discover the formula. Seek 3 non-land cards, and non-land cards in our hand perpetually gain. This spell costs 1 less to cast. And next up, not necessarily finishers, but the things we really like. Oracle of the Alpha puts the power 9 into our deck. Displacer Kitten, whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we exile up to 1 target non-land permanent we control and return to the battlefield under its owner's control. So again, we can figure Indris or maybe Oracle of the Alpha. Music's Mastery is bonkers. We can pay 4 to exile target card as an instant sorcery from our graveyard. For each card exiled this way, copy it, and we may copy the cast card without paying its mana cost, then we exile as Mastery. Or we can overload it for 8. And overload is basically we change the target to each. So each instant sorcery in our graveyard. So we cast this, we can draw 12 cards with Indris and get all the spells in our instant sorceries in our graveyard. Rao, we have played on the channel. It is a Storm Planeswalker. It's really pretty powerful. Time Warp Dex returns. Arcane Barman is one of the true win cons in this deck, apart from just going face with our Lightning Bolt. 6 mana. When we cast our first instant sorcery spell each turn, we exile an instant sorcery card from our graveyard, from our graveyard. Then we copy each card exiled with this enchantment. We may cast a number of copies without paying the mana cost. So it is random, but if we have a mana drain in our graveyard, we may want to wait till our opponent's turn to opt and hope we hit a mana drain to counter a spell. Or in one of the games, I think I cast Electrostatic Blast to deal 2 to something, and we had 2 instant sorcery spells in our graveyard, and one was Lightning Bolt, and we hit the Lightning Bolt to kill off a creature. So, and then once we've got it, if they can't remove it, we can just, because it copies, it every time. You know, the next turn we will get everything we've exiled with it. Chandra for a bit of ramp removal and just copies our spells. 1,000 Year Storm basically gives every instant sorcery spell Storm, but it only affects cards we cast. Niv Mizzet and then Seagate Restoration, and a lot of mana in the mana base. So it's a really powerful deck. It's basically a combo deck. It is basically just drawing our deck, controlling the opponent, and then just smashing in with 10 lightning bolts. There is an achievement for dealing 20 non-combat damage in a single turn to opponent, which this deck can do if you are trying to do that achievement. The problem with that achievement is it is heavily reliant on our opponent, because as soon as you put those lightning bolts on the stack, chances are they scoop. I did have one opponent who didn't scoop, so much appreciated to him. But if you want to do that enchantment, this deck or a deck like this can do it. You just have to hope your opponent does not scoop. So anyway, that's the deck. It's had a blast playing it. I really hope you enjoy watching it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Well, turn 1 Ragavan. And we'll hold on to the Mox. Get down our Oracle. They crack a Vista. Yeah. Hardly surprising. I do need that land. Yeah, missing our land drops there wasn't great. Oh, keep a Mox Ruby as well. I think we just carry on holding on to our Mox. We can mana drain. Let's play out the Mox Ruby. Fine. Well, let's behold the multiverse and hope we find another land. Well, we find 2 more lands. So we can mana drain if we wish, which is what we do. And we can play our commander. I think we do get rid of the charge conjuration, because then we can spell swindle. Which will draw as a card. We can't. Oh, doesn't really matter. We can replay Indris. Get another lightning bolt in there. It's not a problem. That's a big old creature. Well, we only have two. So we will either get a mana drain or behold the multiverse. Well, that's a chunky commander. I think that is worthy of seeing if we hit a mana drain with it. We do. No. There we go. And that's probably game over, because whenever we now... I mean, that's not the end of the world. That's a lot of lands. Now we used to do everything at instant speed. Yeah, we'll let that go. Yeah, we don't need mana drain. We counter it twice. This gets copied a couple of times. And yeah, the Electrostatic Blast for 8, I think it works out as. So we didn't see our Lightning Bolt, but we did get there in the end. We go first. Oh, we can Surveil turn 1. We do have a pretty slow hand though. Opponent mulliganing? Quite aggressively by the looks of it. Down to 3. We do need a second mountain. They were looking for their mana dork. Yeah, so there's Helga. Let's take out their mana dork. Play our Sapphire. And let's play out another red source. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. We'll probably Chandra next turn. X equals 4 to Helga and their face.
You're toast.
Yeah, I thought they would. There is Helga. Let's go red. Let's Arcane Bombardment. And we will strike it rich, which we'll copy with Chandra. Yeah, I haven't in my hand land drop this turn.
Don't underestimate me.
Let's create an Otter Daughter. And next turn we can Indris. And probably get back flashback, strike it rich. Okay, what do they bounce? I don't think that was the correct thing, but never mind. Right, let's get down Indris. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do this.
Otter to otter?
We can do this together.
Another.
Let's give it our all.
Oh yeah. Coming together.
Sure.
New world requires new strategy. It's time to embrace the local culture.
We have quite a bit of mana.
Oh yeah. Plans coming together.
Let's solve the equation for our lightning bolt.
I have a plan.
One which has storm.
It's time to embrace the local culture. Well, gotta work with what's available.
That's a lot of that's what, 30 damage? I was just worried thinking about taking out Kogler at one point, but because Kogler would have attacked and taken out our Arcane Bombardment, but sending, I think, 10 lightning bolts to face. Well, it would have been 11 because we had storm count of 10 and then plus the original one we cast. So yeah, that was going off. And we're up to 15 with Rao, so we could -10 easily and give all our instant sorceries Storm. Our opponent goes first. Well, we have a lot of ramp. We can Arcane Signet turn 1. I think we put back. Now we drew another land. I'm going to put back Sink into Stupor. Do they just get down Urza? Oh, they don't. The midnight clock. Well, I think we just cast that. Full power. I'm guessing that's Might Stone and Weak Stone they're getting. Because it does have a mana ability. You can attack for 2. Oh no, just Urza Citadel. Well, we're going to draw both of them. But we didn't draw a land. There is a land. We can flick a coin and then the Galvanic Blast to kill Urza. Yeah, I think we counter that. And we can hold up Galvanic Blast, which can take out Urza. And there is Urza. Oh no! It doesn't take out Urza. No. That was a... Yeah, that was a... Oopsie. But we can Chandra to do it. Yeah, that was a whiff. Let's get in. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Just hope this isn't countered.
Plan? Fire doesn't need a plan.
We'll take out Urza and their / our bird.
You're toast.
Oh,
You'll show remorse. I'll show restraint.
oh.
Hurry.
Well, they're tapped out. I'm surprised they didn't put Chandra back into our library. Oh, I suppose they're not tapped out, are they? Right, let's tick up on blue, because for some reason we haven't really drawn many blue lands. That's fine.
Fuel up.
Let's get down the Mentor. Or you have something. Well, let's seek new knowledge now, which gets doubled up. Our opponent had something in hand. I don't know if it's a counter spell, but what we were going to do, we seek new knowledge twice. At the beginning of their upkeep, we will Prismari command twice, 2 treasures, and taking out Midnight Clock and Bankbuster. We were going to attack down to Fairy with Indris and see what they had. They definitely had something, but yeah, we were just going off again. Well, we have played obviously Mitotic Ultimus on the channel. We know how powerful it can be. Well, they are ramping. Well, let's just sleight of hand. This doesn't count as a draw. Brainstorm does count as a draw. We can't cast it though because we only have 1 blue mana. Let's pitch the Electrolyze. Discard the Brainstorm. There is the Ultimus. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we can afford to take a hit for a turn.
Please, buy us more time.
Yeah, we can't take out the Ultimus with Shatter Skull Smashing. We'll hold back at 8-8.
A small gift.
They've got the Ether Spark. Yeah, I will block. Does have trample, so we do take 2. Well, hopefully we probably should have sleight of hand first. Let's opt for a bit. I think I will keep that. Let's create another 8-8. Let's play out Row.
Talent like mine deserves respect.
So we can mana drain, we can sink into stupor.
must not forget the mission.
Oh, I can do both. We'll pitch an island, but yeah, we mana drain their Vorinclex, we pitch an island, we draw more cards, Galvanic Iteration, and even then Electrostatic Blast or Flame of Arnor to draw more cards, go face. Flip Row probably, eventually. And yeah, we then sink in a stupor their commander as well. Ooh, our opponent does go first. And obviously, well, we can maybe kill Yarok with a dual striked lightning bolt. Turn 2, Arcane Signet, and then just hope we draw more lands. Well, we can hold up mana drain from now on, basically. But yeah, we do need those lands. I think we just take out the tracker. Well, we have to create a treasure and draw 2 to try and hit a land drop. Which we do. We'll put back Pact and Dual Strike. They've got an Arcane Signet of their own. I think we just hold up mana drain. We can maybe solve the equation for something. But we probably save that for when we play Indris. Yeah, they just skip. That's fine. We will do the same. Oh, solve the equation is a sorcery, not an instant. They're going to be able to get out of their commander, but that's not the end of the world. Doubling up Fierce Empath triggers. And a hoof. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 6, 13. So we can cast Indris and Chandra. And then we can tick up red, blue to Flame of Arnor, I think, to draw 2 cards. Now they're going to drop the Gear Hulk, which will kill Indris. Or they drop the Crater Hoof, which gets doubled up, obviously. There is the Hoof. Hoof, there it is. Hoof obviously back in standard as of Tuesday. Oh, am I just dead? Well, I am gonna jump. Well, now I have to jump. We're down to 3. And they're up to 36. We're down to 2. I could do Cyclonic Rift. Well, yeah, I think what we do is we flick a coin.
They won't know what hit 'em.
Play out a non-pain land. Deal 5 to these lovely fellas.
When I say burn, you burn.
Let's dash in Ragavan. Yeah, let's Panharmonicon. And we can Cyclonic Rift whatever they play. Well, they're at 33, we're at 2. They play out Yarok, which is 7, which they can easily cast, but we can riff that. We probably wouldn't riff the Gear Hulk, but they wouldn't play it because we've got no creature to destroy. And then, yeah, next turn we can replay out Indris, get 2 triggers from Panharmonicon, maybe play out, where that's what, 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. We could play out Indris and then just hold up Cyclonic Rift, I think, in their turn, and then draw a couple of cards, bounce a couple of things. Yeah.